It's the second day of the Congress of Bolivarian Historical Bloc in Venezuela, and our correspondent Belen de Los Santos is there with all the details we must know about the event. Hi Bel, what can you share with us at this hour?
Thank you, Ale. Exactly. This is the last hours of the second day of this Grand Congress of the Bolivarian Bloc. And as we have been saying throughout the day, the discussions, the debates have been going on. We are now at the closing hours of this day. And as we were saying, there have been different assemblies underway. This has been a complete day dedicated to debate, to discussion. All the different delegates from across the country have been divided into the 7 assemblies that correspond with the 7 T's, or the 7 transformations. And in those assemblies, the delegates have been giving their opinions about what their proposals are from the territories. Let's recall that they are bringing their proposals from the territories. Many delegations have, of course, been participating in the 7 different debates with different delegates whose role have been to bring to the table these proposals. So they have been taking the stand one by one, sharing proposals. Some of them have been exchanging back and forth with a time limit to address all these different issues. And what I wanted to bring to you in this report at the end of the day was just some of the things that we have been discussing and going over in this debate. For example, let's take for instance, the first transformation, the assembly dedicated to the economic modernization and everything related to the economy. A lot has been going on there. For example, just to have some ideas of what was discussed there. One of the things was the need to increase worker participation in the oil industry. We know how vital the oil industry is for the Venezuelan economy, particularly at this moment, and that is one of the things that worker participation was one of the things that in the assemblies was carried out as a must, something to achieve in the coming years. Then one of the other things was the need to decrease technological dependency in the current scenario and all the things that imposes in Venezuela, and a path to real sovereignty also in that sector. Also, another important idea, just to keep in mind how important it is for all the sectors to be coming together, is how one of the things that was mentioned was the need to adjust an economic model to the need of every economic sector that has, of course, different needs, different conditions. And that was very important and interesting to hear because, of course, we're talking about a participatory process. The idea of building, for example, an economic transformation, hearing from all the sectors instead of designing a plan from a bureaucratic process. So in that sense, let's keep in mind how different of a model this is if we compare it to, for example, a country that would shape the economic transformation totally on the basis of its productive or central industry model. In contrast to that, we had workers from all different sectors across the country really bringing their voice and asking for specific strategies and talking about their own needs. Producers in the food industry, also rural workers, also pushers, and that was one of the things they were talking about, the need for different financing instruments, for example. So that was just one of the things that were debated at only one of the assemblies. There were 7 in total. Just to give you a little bit of a glimpse of what was happening today. The debate is finishing just for today, but will continue tomorrow. And let's recall that all of this will end with all of the assemblies presenting their conclusions, their proposals to the executive. The idea is that in that way Venezuela will draw its roadmap for the coming years, looking not only at the coming mandate but also at the next 30 years. So that is what is happening here today. The day is coming to a close. The executive vice dedicated to the economy. Nancy Rodriguez, who just finished talking, and people are now gathering for a special closure panel with Minister of the Interior, Diosdado Cabello. So that is what we are waiting. Now I go back to you, and we will continue to bring all the information at this moment.
Thank you, Bel, for all the information and also for sharing with us these last minutes of the second day, which is also marked with music and enjoyment. We were listening to Belen de Los Santos amid the Congress of the Historic Bolivarian bloc.